Hello y'all. On today's video we're going to be going over an introduction to this character here from the video game called Dead by Daylight. It is a horror video game. I'm currently playing on this person's Steam account and I'm using all their other gaming resources. The name of this character is called the Skull Merchant. This is what she looks like on the killer chart. She is prestige to a level 4. Let's go ahead and read her bio together. The Skull Merchant. The self-made millionaire Adriana Imari came from a humble home in Fortaleza, Brazil. Her father, Sita, moved to Brazil as a young man, hoping to see a side of the world completely different than his hometown in Hokuto. A talented illustrator, he spent his spare time designing colorful characters and worlds. While sketching patrons of local jazz club, he was approached by Belinda, the owner, to work on a logo. What began as a business partnership soon became a romantic one, and within a couple of years, Adriana was born. Adriana excelled in all facets of education. A house full of art and music honed a brilliant mind, and her intelligence was only exceeded by her drive to be the best. While scoring at the top of every class, she was often on the receiving end of disciplinary action due to her overly competitive and sometimes violent nature during schoolyard games. Adriana's mother did her best to keep her on the right track, but her father was increasingly absent as his own obsessive drive ramped up. Adi Valentina, a magna about a young girl who saves and protects the weak with her quirky robot companion, despite working long hours at a canning facility, writing his manga. In his spare time, he somehow managed a little time every night to share his wild and highly imaginative illustrations with his daughter. By middle school, Adriana was courted by a fancy private school due to her high performance and needing money. Sita spoke to publishers about his unpublished manuscripts. He managed to find a small local publisher to carry Adi Valentina, but it meant more work than he could handle. He eventually lost his job at the cannery, giving him more time to develop and illustrate his series. Adriana loved the manga, but the family was forced into hard times. In her final semester, Sita requested higher royalties, but the publishing company went into administration and decided to cut the series. No longer able to afford the school fees, Adriana was pulled out of the Elite Academy, where she was at the top of her class. Belinda was able to negotiate her graduation, but another student was able to take her place at the head of the class. Adriana was furious. On summer break, she learned everything about her rival, where he lived, where he hung out, what he liked to do in his spare time, what he listened to, what he watched, everything. She even stalked him on his way home one late summer evening and considered the myriad ways she could ruin his life. But in the end, she did nothing, though something awakened within her and she felt like the anti-hero. In a new story her father had been exploring, Sita retreated her further into himself and began producing this newer, darker manga inspired by his visions and nightmares, a manga about a woman who hurts and guts the weak in a nightmarish realm with drones made of salvaged skulls and bones. But unable to sell this manga, Sonheridos Sambaros, the family became solely reliant on Belinda's income. Adriana, looking for ways to make her own money, started a website dedicated to the world of Brazilian manga. It became a runaway success, and significant advertising dollars started to roll in. She realized she had no real interest in writing for it, so she convinced other kids to write it for free. While the money flooded in, the second she got an offer, she sold the site and never looked back. Excuse me. Proud of her accomplishment, she came home to show her parents the clique. She never got a chance to show her father, though. He walked out the door that morning, never to return, leaving only a stack of unpublished manuscripts about the school merchant, mercilessly hunting those she deemed worthy of her efforts. To help her mother, Adriana began to study at the library, teaching herself investment and economics, and soon tripled her money. By the age of 18, barely with a high school degree, she had already become a self-made millionaire. As stories of this investment wunderkind spread across Brazil, more and more doors opened for her. Before long, she had the kind of money that allowed her to buy small companies that she would replace within non-union workers and sell at a profit. The only breaks she took from her corporate obsession was to pore over her father's manuscripts, trying to understand this chilling world he had created. By her mid-20s, she was regularly flipping companies while financing on a real estate firm. Two members of the board moved to block the sale, pointing the trail of hollowed-out husk she left in her wake. Adriana was frustrated. It took her weeks to find out who the holdouts were, but once she did, she thought about how it would feel to hurt them. She learned everything about their directors, stalked their every move, manipulated them into attending a conference in Switzerland, and while on a retreat in the Alps, she made her move, inspired by the school merchant, and feeling something within demanding expression. She tracked them with a prototype drone and brutally dismembered them with a cruel two-bladed weapon. The rush of emotion and adrenaline was unlike anything she had ever experienced before, and the company was hers. Thus began an unsettling cycle. Swoop in on a business, destroy anyone standing in her way, and gut the company for maximum profit. She targeted companies with larger-than-life CEOs and hoped one would present a challenge. None ever did. They just disappeared unremarkably. An aggressive manager of fireworks company, known for his survival tours, was her last target, right at her home in Brazil. Survival tours, a perfect cover. Adriana lured him to a decommissioned airship hangar. The hunt started at dawn and went the distance, with her still tracking him well into the evening. Locating him, she used one of her drones to direct him to a dead end when a pair of kites suddenly appeared on camera, and the feed died. Her face hardened, her eyes widened in disbelief as she slammed her laptop shut and charged to where the drone had crashed. There she found her prey, reaching out to someone in the growing dark for help. Witnesses, not part of the plan. Without a second to lose, she plunged her blade through his stomach, exposing meat, bone, and a dying heart. The vitiated body staggered left and right, sending a shower of red over the green foliage. As her victim collapsed with a thud, she turned to the young witnesses. Wrong place, wrong time. They broke into a sprint. She gave chase, her blades thirsting for more blood. The lush green of the trees melted into a thick black fog. Real life warped into something like Longiardus sombreus. A thick grin crept across her face as she rushed forward to begin a new chapter in her life. So that's the bio on this character here, the Skull Merchant. Now let's look at her perks together. Her first perk is Game of Foot. It's in the purple, so it's very rare. First you pick your prey, then you pick it apart. While you are chasing the obsession, this perk activates. Damaging generators and breaking walls or pallets gives you a 7% haste status effect for 10 seconds. Whenever you hit the survivor with the total most time in chase with a basic attack, they become the obsession. The killer can only be assessed with one survivor at a time. Haste increases killer's movement speed. This one might actually be a challenge, Adrena Imari. Her second perk is called the What. The What. It's in the rare because it's purple. Your prey is terrified by your relentless pursuit. The What starts within 3 tokens. When breaking a pallet or breakable wall, consume a token. Survivors within 36 meters scream and their auroras are revealed to you for 6 seconds. When hooking a survivor, regain 1 token. All of those who stood in her path feared her mighty Thowak. Soldorus Sombroris, issue 3, number 3. Her last perk is called Leverage. It's purple, so it's very rare. Kick your competitors when they're down. Never let them regain lost ground. When a survivor performs the unhook action, their healing speed is reduced by 50% for 30 seconds. Good. Now we can move in for the kill, Adrena Imari. Now let's look at her customizations together. She's got this one here. It's called Murky Water. She's got this one here. It's called Bloodthirsty Executive. And that's what I've mostly got on her besides the haircut, the head. And then she's got, no, that's not the one I have on her. I have this one on her. My bad. I have Relentless Executive on her right now. That's what she's wearing. That's what it looks like. That's what she's wearing. And then she's got the Skull Merchant. That's the original one. Let's look at her loadout together. I've only played her like a few times. Like I said before on some of my other videos, I just don't enjoy playing killer. What I mostly do is I play survivor on this person's account and I put the points in on the killer side. So I don't know too much about killers. Now let's look at her blood whale. That's what her blood whale looks like. She is prestige to a level 4. That's what she looks like when she is on the killer chart. Anyways, thanks for watching my video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye-bye.